So this guy lived at Disney for what, 50 years? I'm just making things up now. What the fuck was it?
The 21st century.
Where did he live?
October 1, 1982.
The following footage is real, huh?
You were lucky enough to take a trip to Walt Disney World in the 80s and 90s, chances are you took at least one ride on Horizons.
What the fuck is Horizons?
Step into the future.
I don't know that one.
Today,
This kind of shit is creepy to me.
when Horizons opened in 1983, a young Dave Ensign, aka Hoot Gibson, rode the ride for the very first time and was instantly obsessed.
Why?
Every week, Hoot would make a trip up to Epcot Center, always making it a point to ride his favorite ride, Horizons. Then, in 1986, Hoot met another Horizons superfan by the name of Ed Barlow Jr., aka Thunder Chief.
Why?
Hoot and Chief shared a strong bond for theme parks and became best friends. Together they obsessed over Horizons until one fateful day in 1994 when Hoot received a shocking call from Chief. Without warning, Horizons had closed.
No! What the fuck?
Hoot and Chief were disappointed that they were not given the chance to properly say goodbye to their favorite ride. Hoot realized that he had only taken a handful of faded photos while on the ride and was furious. He knew that if he was given the chance to ride the ride just one more time, he would do it all differently. Fortunately for them, that day would come exactly 1 year later, when in 1995, Horizons reopened.
Yeah.
One night after getting off from their boring desk jobs, Hoot and Chief met for a drink. It was that night that they decided to take it upon themselves to document every last inch of Horizons before it ever closed again. And with that, their work could begin.
Yeah, this looks like a shit-ass ride.
Surprisingly, Horizons was one of the few Disney rides ever built without any
Yeah,
security
Epcot
system.
sucks, bro.
There were no pressure mats,
The only thing
no
to enjoy about
infrared,
Epcot
no
is, like,
security
food and
cameras,
wine
and zero
festival.
supervision by any Disney cast members.
Try to be on time tonight. I mean, it is a party. Last Saturday night.
Wow, this is very creepy.
The two needed a system for not getting caught, so they came up with
Makes it a
one
bit
that they
simple.
called the Gap. Hoot would give a signal to Chief in case somebody entered the building.
We'll go count some cars.
Once the gap was large enough between them and the next guests on the ride, they would get on the ride and check their vehicle number, since every vehicle in Horizons was numbered.
Well, it's so weird.
As soon as they rounded the corner, they would jump out and get as far ahead as possible. Then, by keeping count of the cars, they had a precise idea of how much time they had per scene.
But why?
That guy see us? No. Who cares? Where'd he go? Is he gone? Yeah, I think they're gone.
Their first night was a success. They went on a few more adventures before they started to bring along friends, like their friend Bionic Fonzie.
This was Redditors before Reddit. Nah, not really. So apparently they start living here at some
Exploring the
point.
ride the way they were was
I remember
risky
correctly.
and dangerous. Right as Hoot and Chief are about to exit the space scene, Hoot had stepped on a rotten piece of plywood and permanently injured his foot. Although they made it through the rest of the night just fine, Hoot can still feel a pain in his foot to this very day.
Oh, nice. Cool. A reminder of the horizon. He takes a small piece of it with him now.
Sometimes there were details they found that were not meant to be seen by riders. There's a girl bathing in a bathtub. When Hoot climbed up there, he discovered that the animatronic was actually sculpted to be fully naked. This was
Whoa!
probably a joke hidden by the ride makers, since the riders are not supposed to see her torso in the first place.
Really? So they found real-life Easter eggs on this fucking ride? That's crazy.
Well, let me get one more shot of the sign and then I'll close it.
Stand by for rock trend. And hold for further instructions.
Oh, I need to get a picture of the speaker.
Hey, Mom! What is it, Tommy? Look, Mom, I'm flying!
170 right here.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
This ride does look pretty cool.
Other friends like Spike Tripper joined the duo a few times, as well as Hoot's girlfriend at the time, Sunnyside. After this particular adventure seen in this photo, Hoot and Sunnyside got married and have been happily married ever since.
Oh,
Their newly found confidence in exploration nearly became their downfall on one particular Wednesday night. Their goal on this night was to explore the undersea section of the ride and to finally make it to the bottom of the ocean. But in their rush of excitement,
It's
they overlooked one small
on
detail. The hole they jumped into was too high to jump back out of, and in just a few seconds they'd be in full view of the guests.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here and back to our vehicle? Oh shit. Take cover.
They were forced to take refuge behind a rock in which a blinking octopus stood guard. Hoot and Chief waited.
There goes our gap.
I can't see the ride vehicles. I'll take a peek.
It's pretty cool.
Attention Horizons passengers.
Shit.
The two were now stuck hiding behind the rock. Suddenly, a little boy saw Hoot's foot sticking out from behind the rock.
Is a man down there? Damn it.
Hoot pulled himself in tighter. It was a long breakdown. Minutes turned into tens of minutes. There was simply no way out. Suddenly, the ride started up again.
Yeah.
The Chief decided it was time to make their escape.
I guess we just go for it.
Yep. Here comes a few empty cars.
Let's
It's
go.
pretty wild, Burrito.
Aside from that little kid, no one else noticed them that night.
Well, that sucked, man. That sucked.
They were going to try staying in the ride for an extended amount of time. They were paranoid that a cast member at the front was keeping track of who was riding in what car at a single time.
No
If the ride
fucking
was
chance
stopped
of
in
that.
approximately 10 minutes, they
They don't
might be
care.
in trouble. Lucky for them, the ride continued and there seemed to be zero problems.
And your vehicle are traveling at equal speed.
After 4 hours of exploring the ride, the two finally stepped out, victorious.
Think about, Dave. Four goddamn hours later. That was
He's the resub Miss Piggy.
You want to ride again?
They were now able to stay in the ride as long as they wanted, meaning new adventures were possible, like adventuring underneath the sets or exploring in the rafters.
I've never looked up and actually saw the little, the projector doing that stuff. I guess I never did either. That's cool as shit, man.
So,
Here,
They
they're
definitely
looking down
live
on
here.
things such as the space set from afar, as well as the birthday hologram scene from the perspective of the animatronics. This is a video from their first and last trip up to one of the top floor mechanical rooms. Here we can see the top of the Horizons ride vehicle track, with even a little paintbrush for wiping grease off. Exploring these rooms made them feel unsafe and prone to being discovered, making this a rare trip.
Well, the ride closed, so they can't be living there now.
I got you.
Or maybe they just never left.
Oh, shit. This isn't go right into the projector. The father and the boy. Well, they're right up over there.
And nobody's seen them since. Would be a pretty wild ending.
This is where the girl sits talking to her boyfriend.
Staying on the ride soon became old hat, and the two would stay on the ride for 8 hours at a time. They would eat dinner there, and one time even wash themselves in the Mesa Verde waterfall.
What the fuck?
Hey, Dave. Did we ever film the orange machine? Well, we only got pictures. No, we better film it.
When riders would ride through the Mesa Verde
Holy
scene, a
shit.
familiar orange scent would be blasted into the air. On this adventure, they found the actual scent cannon that was used to blast the smell of orange during the ride.
Easy street. Fuck yes.
While walking behind the cars, the unthinkable happened. As they rounded the corner, a maintenance worker spotted them.
Oh shit!
Holy shit.
Chief remembered a secret door they used many times and he ran into it.
That door right there probably goes out into the undersea.
Take that.
Quick, dude, to the hole.
They walked underneath the easy living scene to find their trusted hiding place. Things started to feel bleak.
They
But
just
little
stopped
did they know
ride.
the maintenance
Now
man
we're
lives
fucked.
there.
We sure did it this time.
Fuck yes we did. Our gear's in Mesa Verde base camp.
We have to get it.
Hoot heard the ride running again and snuck out to take a peek, only to see the workers riding the ride looking for the two of them. Meanwhile, their camera was still left out in the open in the future living section, and guests were starting to notice it.
This is pretty wild.
Suddenly, Hoot and Chief made a mad dash from their hiding spot and jumped into 2 open cars. They were only 10 cars behind their pursuers. They rode all the way to where they had left their cameras. When they got there, they made a break for the camera and got it back successfully.
Oh, yeah.
At least we got her shit.
Now all we have to do is find a way out.
They decided to
Is it
run
tier
back
one
to the
Jermaine
harvester scene to
Reset
see
Venom?
if they were still being followed. The workers were nowhere to be seen, and the ride was packed with guests.
What's the matter?
The people can see me when I stand up right there. I'm looking right at the kid's butt.
Unfortunately for them, the only way to get back in their car would be to do so in full view of the other riders. Chief was all for it, so they did it.
Hiya, folks.
Never mind us.
Chief's other idea was for the 2 of them to act like a couple as they got off the ride, so they did that too.
Watch your step onto the moving beltway, dear.
Okay, honey.
Have a good
How does that...
You too, sweetie.
The employees gave them weird looks as they walked out of the ride. They blended into the crowd and left
Yeah, I
that
mean, I
night
guess
without anyone asking
they
any
didn't
questions.
see them, the
In all of their
employees.
adventures and escapades, the adventurous Hoot and Chief were never caught once. The 2 came up with some crazy ideas on how to end their adventures. One idea was to pick a car just behind them and load it full of every prop they could move. Chairs, lamps, anything not nailed down to give the cast members a shock when this car full of stuff pulled into the exit.
That you're just
Another idea
asking
was
for
to
a
spend the
problem.
day running naked through the scenes until they got arrested. They even
What?
had an idea to carry super soakers in with them and drench the guests as they rounded the scuba class scene.
Oh, it's getting dark now.
But after exploring the ride for months and months, Hoot and Chief decided to ride the ride one last time, the way it was intended. They walked out and sat in front of Horizons. It was officially over for them and
It's a tier
everyone
1
else.
rock.
They sat and looked at the pastel wonder they had tried to document. And then, they went home.
Oh, rest in peace. Thanks to Prime Night.
10 years went by, and many Horizons fan websites sprouted up on the internet. Then, in 2009, Hoot and Chief started their own Horizons website, a place for photos and videos, stories, and even comics to be shared. The blog was updated until 2011, when the last of the footage had been digitized and uploaded. The adventures of Hoot and Chief had now been documented forever.
Tell me what those are, Graven.
These are film strips from Horizons.
Wow, which one is that? Is that the redhead?
It's not plural,
Yes,
it's,
it is.
it's Horizon,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, this is what we find in the trash can. They would just throw when they would change out the reel. They would just throw this whole thing in the trash can.
Blasphemy.
So on one of our trips, we just got lucky in one of the rooms. We looked, it was like, holy shit, look what's in the trash can.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my god, that's amazing.
What Hoot and Chief accomplished was truly a lightning in a bottle experience. Since Horizons, Disney rides and theme parks in general have become increasingly security sensitive, making what the 2 of them did impossible to ever recreate.
Thanks to give Subby getting bored.
What do we got here?
This is from
Triple
the
apple?
kitchen.
No, I've never seen that one
Easy
gun shot.
living kitchen with
Oh,
with
nice.
the spilt milk and shit.
Whatever that weird.
Pine Anna. And I got several of these that are in different sizes.
Because those are on the bushes in the harvester scene. Like going
What the
up.
pinanas are?
I can't
Yeah.
So who are they talking to right now?
There's like the little ones that were just.
They're just trying to flirt with the local college girls?
Oh, weird.
fruit?
You ever remember Horizon from when you were 4 years old?
Wow.
Found them.
So cool.
Fell in her
Yeah, we
face.
never took anything that made it like.
Went in there when they closed the ride and they were going to
Oh.
tear it down. They looted the place. Just crazy stuff that people swipe. A bunch of film strips and
Yeah.
For
Man,
one
tons of
particular
stuff.
type of thing.
The backpack full of goodness.
My yellow flashlight that you see in the videos.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, this must be like a fan meetup.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
3 years
In
later,
June
they
of
build
2014,
Horizon with their own
Chief
material
passed
off
away
memory.
after a battle with cancer.
Oh.
He was only 46 years old.
Hi.
Chief's final wish was
Thanks
for
for
Hoot
reset,
to
Mike.
perform one last act of theme park delinquency in his honor, to scatter his ashes at the place where the 2 of them had first met all of those years ago.
Okay. We made it into Coke Corner. Of course, this is where I met Ed 29 years ago. I have the remains of my best friend strapped in my pants. And I'm about to switch him over to this drink cup.
What the
And go
fuck?
take care of business.
This is sad, man. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't expect that.
Well, I did it. I didn't think I'd get so shook up about it, though. But that's where you want to be, so it's done.
In the trash can? I thought he was gonna, like, sprinkle it on the Epcot ground.
That's all I got. Mission accomplished.
Oh, he did. He threw the cup away. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Damn, what a sad ending. Fuck, man. I got really invested in that story. What the fuck? That was actually fucking wild. Thanks to the tier 1 Vinlum and the Prime Mew. I'm actually fucking blown away by how interesting that was.